Hey guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsis Press, and I'm here with David again, and with Iowa NCAP. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
We are going to be doing the last of our Lego Rivendell set. We are finishing it up, so this will be the last chill stream until we find a new set or chill project to work on.
And I'm sure that won't be too long.
No.
So.
Hi to Timo and Michael Kane and Doug Wise.
Oh, nice. We got a good crowd in here already.
Yeah. Michael Kane says it's the end of the world as we know it.
Oh, no.
And Doug Wise says until they find another set.
Yep. And that won't be a problem. There's some really good stuff out there. We just don't have it. We don't own it. It's not sitting in our house now.
Right.
But
we don't have a box gathering dust yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, real quick, I'll show you guys the set that we're doing. I'm sure you guys know, but this is it. This is the Lego Rivendell, and it is 6,167 pieces. And today we are wrapping up, I think, this tree here.
Yep.
And
then there's just a bunch of little details that go in different parts of Rivendell. Some of the weapons, and then all of the characters' alternate legs, so they can sit in the console.
Yep.
So that will be today, and then we'll put all the characters in it. So that will be fun. That'll really make it come to life, and it'll be a good end.
Yep. All right. Should I open up a bag here?
Yeah. So, Josh, I know you said you're maybe not quite as big of a Lego geek, but you do have some experience with Lego, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, who hasn't played a little bit? My kids do Lego stuff, and a lot of times it ends up in my office somewhere. So I'm looking at Lego creations all over the place. Nothing as elaborate as what you two are working on, but you know, the type of Lego stuff you find with you know, kids just throwing stuff together. In fact, right behind me is like a creation where there's one wing. I don't know how that's supposed to fly, but you know, right there. So okay. So this is a thing. So I've listened to most of your chill streams, but like, when did this become a thing for you guys? Is this this
set
date night Lego thing?
What, doing Lego or streaming Lego?
Yes.
Okay, so this is definitely the first one that we streamed. And can you close your Twitter tab? Your computer's working really hard here. If there's
it is doing something in the background.
Oh, you think it's updating or something?
If it crashes on me, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, if it crashes on you, we can keep going from mine.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something that you had running that was
doing that. Nope, I don't have anything.
Yeah. Well, okay, so getting back to the question, this set is definitely the first one that we streamed, but we've been doing Lego together pretty much, I think, since within about the first year of being married. So Katie didn't have any experience with Lego as a kid. So it was my hobby. And then I had gotten back into it just very little bit with, you know, like starting to get Lego sets for Christmas from my parents a couple of years before we were married. And then we kind of got into it together and have been doing a lot of Lego since then.
Yeah, the first set that I bought it was this one, actually. Yeah. It's very accessible.
It was, and then we bought it together.
And we bought it together, and we built it together. It's this Ninjago Zeppelin.
That's very nice.
it spoke to me.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. And I mainly do Lego Star Wars stuff. Star Wars, and
Okay.
then I collected a bunch of Lord of the Rings stuff kind of after it had come out, because
Sure.
all of their Lord of the Rings stuff, when they first did it was right before The Hobbit, so that was kind of
Sure.
before I quite got back into Lego.
Right.
And I've collected a couple other themes here and there, but mostly Lego Star Wars.
Okay.
And I'm of the opinion, at least maybe a couple years ago, Lego was about as good as it's ever been.
Okay.
So I like the stuff that they made when I was a kid, but I don't have I'm not of the opinion that it was the best stuff ever. I think stuff that's current to maybe a couple years old is the best stuff ever. So it's a very good time to get into Lego right now. If you have any kind of enjoyment of it or desire to get into it.
Here's my biggest problem with hobbies is that I know I'm kind of an excessive guy. So like I can't get halfway into anything. So I know if I'm gonna get into something, I'm gonna be all in, and I could just waste all of my children's college funds on this. Like there's no way I'll halfway Legos if I were to get into it. So that's kind of what holds me back.
Yeah, we're not gonna send our kids to college, so
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I think Lego is pretty easy to do at whatever level of money that you want to spend on it, though.
Yeah.
You know, like even in sort of peak Lego Star Wars time, which I would say was like maybe 2020, 2021, 2022, I didn't buy every single Lego Star Wars set that came out.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
There's stuff that I like a lot, and then there's stuff that I like less, and there's stuff that I don't really like. And there's even some of the best stuff that Lego's ever done, in my opinion. Can you help me find these other more of these? There's 3 more of these. Kind of hard to spot. Some of the best stuff Lego's ever done is these sort of modern remakes of old sets, like
This one.
Pirates of Barracuda Bay is one of the first big sets, or one of the memorable big sets that Katie and I built together. And they have another like Imperial Fort set that's kind of a throwback Pirates. They've done some throwback space stuff. I'm not crazy about their castle. The castle remake set.
Yeah.
It's cool. Just kind of didn't speak to me as much as some of these other ones did. So I with Lego, I don't feel the need to buy every last big set that they come out with.
Yeah, there was a while there when I was buying every single Ninjago dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they stopped doing ones that interested me, I just stopped buying them.
Still looking for another one of these.
Another one?
Oh, maybe not. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I think that's something that's kind of fun. A fun aspect of collecting things, though, is sort of that deciding how you want to build your collection. You know, what kind of choosing that subset of whatever you're trying to collect that speaks to you the most.
Yeah.
And then not going beyond it and diluting your collection.
Sure.
Michael Caine says the castle remake is super cool. And
It's-
he's like, oh, I like that one.
It is really cool. It just, to me, it's not. It just didn't speak to me like the Pirates stuff does.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe we'll still get it at some point. That it
Could
could
be.
be the next one that we do. I don't know.
Who knows? I like the idea of the castles. That the throwback castle, it's not like the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. That looks like a modern Lego set. I feel like the pirate or the castle one looks like a throwback.
Yeah.
You know?
It
Visually.
Yeah, it's a little.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that appeals to people who enjoyed the castles.
It's not as clever of a set as the Pirates throwback sets. Doesn't have that spark of.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Rivendell isn't a super clever set either, but it's Lord of the Rings, and there's a lot of things that were really appealing to me about it.
It kind of is what it has to be.
One thing that really appealed to me about the Rivendell set is that it has a remade version of the whole entire Fellowship in it.
Sure.
That was a big selling point for me. I was just interested in comparing them all to the original.
Mm-hmm.
And the castle set, it's just kind of a bunch of generic medieval characters, so it doesn't have that going for it.
Sure.
Man, I love listening to enthusiasts talk about their thing. It always it's this weird kind of like outside in thing that like it's kind of like what I enjoy about watching your episodes in general, when you guys all get author nerdy and reader nerdy. Of like, man, it's fun, you know. It's kind of like listening to someone who's really into trains talk about trains. Like, I'm not catching much of what they're talking about, but it's really cool that they're into that, you know.
Okay.
The other draw for me for Rivendell is that not only does it have the whole entire Fellowship in minifigures, which I have, it has some characters, some very important characters that I don't have. So
Yeah, who?
Arwen.
Sure.
Arwen and just some random elves and the Council of Elrond style Elrond. So they did make a little Council of Elrond set that I foolishly put off buying, and now it's really expensive. And now I basically don't need to buy that set, right?
Sure.
Does it include like you know, all the characters that are important to the books but are not important to the movie? Like how detailed do they get?
Oh, in this set it has the whole entire Fellowship, plus it has several elves, and it has Glowing, right?
Yes.
Yep. So there's a lot of characters in it.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't know, Josh, if you've ever looked closely at Lego minifigures, but they're really carefully and wonderfully detailed. So there's a lot of graphic design work that goes into the images that are printed on them for the clothes, and they're usually really, really like well researched, carefully done. Like they accurately reflect the costumes, or if they don't accurately reflect the costumes, there's probably an interesting reason for them doing what they did, but they're just really well done.
Huh. Yeah. That's yeah.
Like this is Elrond, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Elrond's got his crown.
Yep.
Which is done in silver, you know, like not just gray paint, but silver. And he's got all the embroidery and everything on his robe.
Yeah. Yeah, stately.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's ready to not give and give wisdom.
Mm-hmm. And then I think
Strategically not giving.
the original elf hair pieces with the ears were just the ears were just painted, and they're dual molded now.
Oh yeah,
So
I was
they
gonna
have
say that.
2 different colors of plastic, and the characters that have bare feet, like the hobbits, have dual molded feet now, which is really cool. So
Hmm.
they're Lego is they are continually either improving or just continuing to make awesome minifigures.
Okay, for the life of me, I can't find a decent picture of him.
Well, there's one.
Let's see, because like they're all. Well, I suppose that's. Like I want a full so you can see
Yeah.
his whole.
Might be hard to find a full one.
Yeah.
Maybe where he's talking to Gandalf.
Oh sure.
Oh, maybe.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. It looks very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always the minifigures are always really well researched and well done. And usually when there's multiple iterations of a character, they will change interesting things, and it never regresses. It's they're improving something or trying something different or
Crate Spain said, forget zodiac signs. Lego themes is how I understand people. And said, it's the final countdown, Kazoo Solo.
Is it weird that that's literally like it's like she was reading my mind? That's exactly what I was thinking of. Is the Kazoo Solo version?
Jeff Park says, if only there were some sort of occasion soon during which people customarily give gifts.
Yeah. I tend to ask for different sorts of things for Christmas. It's kind of, I'm also kind of in that like weird phase where like maybe it's a phase of life or just the sort of things that I want where people are like, what do you want for Christmas? Dude, you don't want to give me what I want for Christmas. Just get me something nice that you think I'm gonna like. Give me a nice mug. Like I'm like, I want another camera, or I'm looking for things to help my podcasting setup or that like I'm also like, and I've fallen behind. It's funny because I'm gonna have to watch all of your other chill streams after taking part in this chill stream. Because I'm so far behind because I've moved and now I'm trying to be a church planter or whatever. And I've got all these things that I want that are like big ticket items. I'm like, so you don't want to buy that for me. If you want to throw me a few dollars that I can put into a fund that I'm saving up for these things that I want. I can take a picture of it when I have it and say, this little corner right here, you paid for that.
Yeah, I sort of gave up on expecting to get anything. So I make these lists and I do them in like categories of things I know that other people care about, like skincare, clothes, jewelry, like things that I know other people enjoy giving me.
I'm sorry.
But I don't expect anything.
Did you say clothes or cloaks?
Clothes.
Okay. I heard cloaks and I was like,
that would be
that's a universal thing?
Way too cool.
Yeah, what do you want for Christmas? A normal thing, a cloak.
Yep. Yeah. No, I don't think I like. Let me continue with my story here. You will see why asking for a cloak would just backfire horribly.
So, I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, go for it. A couple of years ago, scarves were in, and it was very specifically square scarves. You wear sort of triangle in front, and they looked very cozy. And I asked for square scarves. 3 people gave me scarves. None of them were square. It was like,
yep.
You just have to ask for a specific item.
It has to
if
be
you want it.
extremely
If you want
specific.
a specific item,
Yeah.
I have pretty good luck with getting specific things that I want because I ask for specific things, like this
Yeah.
specific item. And
I-
my parents are actually really good about getting me fun stuff. Like usually I get a Lego set from my parents for Christmas, and I get fun nerdy stuff from your parents too because I
Yeah.
ask for it specifically,
Mhm.
or you pick it out and
Tell
just
them,
and
yep.
then give it to them as one of their gifts. So that's something that I've appreciated a lot.
Yeah, they've given us quite a few PS4 games
Yeah.
when we had the PS4. Did they give us a PS5 game last year? I don't
No,
remember.
last year they did the
Oh,
big
that's right.
big gifts.
Big
so I don't
gifts.
think we had a together
That's right.
gift.
I have a weirdly the opposite story of overly specific. When my wife and I signed up before our marriage, we signed up for our bridal registry. I thought it'd be funny to put some things on the list that were obviously jokes, so that when people were going through the list, they would be like we went down a lot. We found a row in Walmart that had all duck themed bathroom stuff.
Yes.
And so we just we scanned every single duck themed thing, and people got us those things. We had a duck themed bathroom in our first apartment.
Nice.
And people will be like, "There's a duck toy trash can in the corner, a duck soap pump, duck hanging shower curtain." It was and people just thought we were really into ducks, I guess. But we and I did not. That's what I learned, that when you do a registry, people get exactly what you scan. Not like, oh, I'm sure they don't actually want duck stuff. No, they got us duck stuff. That's what happened.
Oh man.
Anne is asking for Daredevil comics for
Dude, I love
Oh,
Daredevil.
nice.
I saw her Daredevil collection on Twitter. She posted a nice
That's awesome.
photo of her bookshelf.
All eras, or do you have a specific era that's your favorite? Or because I my comic book love all tends to center around the Marvel Knights era. I got way into that series, that center of time, because I'm a late comer to the comics world, and so I actually just looked up a reading I was just like, where to start reading comics, and I got a bunch of lists, and one of them was talking about the event centric era, and how these are kind of comics that you should read leading into that, and that was called the Marvel Knights era, and I kind of just never left that era, where I was like, I love this stuff. The later stuff wasn't as fun to me, but the Marvel Knights era, I just kind of dug it.
When was Marvel Knights originally published?
That would be that'd be late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
So during the time, it also lines up with the time where I wanted to be into comics, but I wasn't close enough to a city to be into comics. living in rural Iowa, I didn't quite have the opportunities for comic book shops that other people did.
They have some really cool Marvel Knights, Marvel Legends action figures.
Oh, nice.
Right now, and I've been able to hold off from buying Marvel Legends because number one, they're really expensive, and number two, I haven't bought any so far, so I'm not feeling like it's not a collection, so I don't just buy them when I see them for cheap. But there's a really cool Marvel Knights, Marvel Legends Blade action figure.
That'd be cool.
He is really cool looking. He looks like Wesley Snipes from the Blade.
Yeah. Which is, it's funny that a lot of people didn't know that was a Marvel. Those were Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And so when people start throwing out like best comic book movies of all time, a lot of people will either they'll forget about Blade, or someone will throw it in and people are like, wait, what?
I think Blade first appeared in Tomb of Dracula, right?
Yep.
So,
Back when they were trying out the horror genre.
yeah, I actually grabbed them.
Yeah, and she said Frank Miller specifically. Yeah, I mean that's the best. The best era of Daredevil. Like yeah,
So
he's the best.
I kind of collect Bronze Age Marvel stuff, like
Nice.
like Red Sonja and
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian, stuff like this.
Nice.
And once, just randomly in an antique shop, which is where I find a lot of this stuff,
Yeah.
I found a couple issues of Tomb of Dracula, and they have really cool looking covers.
Yeah.
I read these and they were really good. I'd like to collect more, but it's kind of
That's awesome.
this early in the series. It's kind of expensive, and it's also one of those comics like whenever there is a first appearance of somebody, it's just that one is impossibly expensive.
Yep. That's where you're gonna find the best finds is antique shops. Yeah, like where you've got guys who have or people who don't have any clue what they have. You know.
Unfortunately, around here, everybody does. They either know what they have, or they don't know what they have, and it's just like it never works in your favor. It's either priced correctly or it's overpriced. So
yeah.
Anne says those are beautiful.
Oh yeah, this Bronze Age stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is even if you get sort of beat up copies of stuff, like this one is in really rough shape, but like if you put it in a mylar sleeve and a nice backing board, it's like they look amazing. So it's kind of fun finding these. Like this one I have a nicer copy of. So I think I paid like $10 for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one I found in an antique store for like $2 or $3 or something, and it's pretty beat up, but it still looks awesome.
Considerably more than the 5 cents that somebody paid for it there.
Yeah, but it just still looks awesome, and it's kind of fun rescuing these because they just look, oftentimes they're in really sleeves that are really yellowed or slimy, but you can pull them out and just stick them in mylar and they look amazing.
Yeah, man. And especially like I'm like, I'm only 36. I feel like I shouldn't be getting into my stay off my lawn, everything sucks nowadays phase like I am. But like we've got when we moved, we brought someone along with us. She's a young woman who's kind of a live-in nanny / utility church plant helper, and she's awesome. She's great at she's like supernaturally good at making contacts with people. That's part of the reason we were like, hey, you want to come along with us? But she like watches all of like her era of animation. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is just low quality. and like, especially like you, and then I walk through there's a comic book shop in the we're finally in kind of city adjacent now.
You moved to civilization.
Yeah.
Out of the cornfields.
Yep. And we went to a comic shop, and I'm looking at some of the new comics coming out. I'm like, this just doesn't look as good.
No,
it looks very low effort.
I really struggle with modern comics because to me they just don't look like how I have in my head that comics should look.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like 60s through 90s, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And some modern stuff that's kind of a throwback to 90s.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the modern Comicsgate stuff, it's basically done with like in a 90s style, 90s techniques.
Yeah. there's just you know, those early comics was back when Stan Lee was always worried about the rent getting paid for his offices, and none of those guys were like raking in the big bucks. It wasn't big money in a big money industry, and so everyone involved was just so hungry,
Mhm.
and there's something that like gets lost, and you find that I feel like in musical artists too, that once a guy gets a lot of money, the kind of the hunger is gone, and suddenly the music starts to become a little too
Mhm.
corporate, a little too like you're not trying hard, like you're just
Yep.
phoning in the records, you're phoning in the art, you're phoning in, yeah. And it seems like definitely that's the case with Marvel today. They've got all that Disney billions flowing through their office, and no
Mhm.
one's trying as hard as
Yep.
they used to. And so that's why I think you get that with the Comicsgate folk, is that there's a little bit of hunger there. They went off on their own. Now they gotta try and build up a fan base, and they're doing it for the art, and yeah.
Yeah, it's all that stuff is just on another level from
Yeah. Absolutely.
You've read Isom, right?
I have. Yeah. Well, otherwise I'm
Oh yeah,
a
you're wearing the
poser.
hat. We haven't, so I'd be interested to hear what you think, since we're talking about comics and art and stuff.
Mhm. And this is a safe zone for being critical of Isom
Right.
if you want to.
I don't
If
know.
you want to be critical, I'll take the heat on my channel.
Yeah.
I don't actually. Okay, so here. Okay,
We can leave this over there.
Okay.
I have a lot of.
This
I'm
other angle.
I'm pretty high trust. I've been following Eric July for a long time.
Mhm.
Like it's like for years I've been following him. And
I did that.
I kind of was riding on a lot of trust with the first two issues, Isom 1 and 2. Okay, so here's my critique, and I'm willing to say it now, because I was kind of riding on trust. So my big critique with the first two issues was it felt like there was a lot of setup and not a lot of payoff.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my big issue with the first one especially. I felt like there's a lot of build up and not a lot of payoff. In all honesty, it kind of felt like he was doing maybe a little too much. Like he wanted to include too many new characters, too many new, it's like he was trying to put too much into it. But then I got to Alpha Core, the newest one. I got it, and I've read it this week. There is payoff galore in that one.
Now, is Alpha Core the one that's written by Chuck Dixon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
somebody who really has some experience.
Yeah, he's got experience. Yeah. And it was a lot of the setup even in Isom 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Paid off a lot in Alpha Core.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to Yaira because they've got great people working on that. And I would say that's one of the things that I thought about Alpha Core too, was it wasn't just I first just thumbed through it to look at the art, and it's kind of spectacular.
Okay.
Like they've got some beautiful splash pages in there. They really let Joe Bennett run on the art, and it's kind of beautiful. It's I would say it's not in that old fashion style. It does kind of feel more in the I guess 2000s era, like the Marvel Knights kind of era art, and I love it. So it's kind of hitting all my buttons, and
nice.
I would say I'm a big fan of what he's doing, and I've got a lot of trust in him. And Alpha Core is just out of this world good. I really I really loved it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I gotta read Isom at some point. I didn't order either of them, but to be honest, like all of the things that I've heard about kind of some of the weirder aspects of it just makes me want to read it more. I kind of like things that you can tell is like somebody's kind of weird take, and what I've heard about ISOM makes me more intrigued to read it than if everybody just said, "Oh yeah, it's great."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm expecting it to be perfect either. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's something also that I'm not so fanboy that I'm like unable to see some of the weaknesses.
Yeah.
But he's new to here's the thing that also no one wants to talk about. Those early Stan Lee comics,
Hmm.
pretty hard to read.
Yeah.
like the dialogue in those early comics is pretty brutal. Like
Hmm.
Stan Lee also his material, he was like excellent at coming up with new characters and coming up with really interesting concepts and backstories that someone else could write.
Hmm.
And so whenever anyone else took over the characters that he created, they really, because what he created, Daredevil, so fascinating, but he had this really weird love triangle between him, Foggy, and Karen Page that was like, honestly, every single issue I was like, do these guys even like each other? Like the friendship between Foggy and Matt Murdock is so like backstabby, and yet like if it's like a situation where like if they didn't tell me they were friends, I wouldn't believe it, because they were just constantly fighting over Karen, and it was pretty hard to read. And so like you've also got that, like some of Stan Lee's, like Stan Lee, it was legitimately a character genius, and he was a genius when it came to promotion, but his dialogue was pretty hard to read, and people don't like to talk about that, but that's just factual. And some of his early villains, like the Human Top, that happened. We that's something to remember. So I mean, like, but it's for early in the series, I see where they're going, and I think it's gonna be good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What you looking for?
Yeah.
Love? Did I screw
Yeah.
something up?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this
Did I
there
put
should
that
be
on backwards?
there should be both of these should be exposed. Here, I'm gonna just start pulling stuff off.
Oh, done it again.
It could have been me. I've been paying the most attention here.
This piece is
So I think it's here. Something got covered up because you see there's these two blue ones that are diagonal across from each other. I don't know what went wrong. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull this off. Whoops. Okay,
I should probably say that I'm commenting under the Anarchist Bible Study. I'm using the company email, as it were,
This didn't get added.
for the people who are confused in
What
the
didn't
chat
get-
when I start talking to them there.
This.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's actually gonna be fine. I think
Okay.
we'll be able to put stuff back. That might have been me. I'm not sure.
I can tell that you guys are more patient. What's the word I look for? The S versus, what is it? The S versus N on the Myers-Briggs. You guys are much more S's than I am. If I make a mistake like that, I'm just like, eh. My detail orientation levels are pretty low. It's yeah.
Well,
that's the way mine's gonna look.
the fun thing about Lego is there's no penalty for you goofing up. It's not like if you glue something together wrong, you're screwed and you have to
Right.
start over. You have to make a new piece or you've ruined the set or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
time.
very low stress.
Nice.
Yep. And if you do it right, then it will look the way that it does in the picture. And if you follow all of the steps,
Yeah.
then it's going to look right.
There's really nothing that you can irreparably screw up except for stickers. And
the bane of
yeah,
existence.
yeah, and the stickers aren't really that hard to do. And even if you kind of goof them up, you won't see it unless you look really closely at the final set. So it's not a big deal.
So the ones you have, the ones where you screw the stickers up, you put those on the top shelf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more distance.
You can also actually usually buy stickers for pretty cheap too, because there's a lot of Lego clubs that basically what they do is the way they build their collections is they will just buy Lego sets and then like swap parts, and then you end up with leftover sticker sheets. Or Lego resellers will buy sets for the parts. So a lot of probably in a set like this, the sticker sheet is more expensive, but in a lot of less expensive sets, the sticker sheets aren't very expensive. So that's not too big of a deal. To like absolute worst case, you could just get a replacement sticker sheet.
Right on. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
You know, I the closest I think to Lego I did was I got into for a very brief period of my high school life, I got into Gundam Wing and G Gundam model kits.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Not the really intense ones where you have to glue things, always the snap-in stuff. Like I was not the high level stuff, but I think I do have a Wing Gundam around here somewhere.
Nice.
I don't think it's not in this room. I don't know where it is, but yeah, you know, I did those a lot for a while.
Do you have a Hobby Lobby near you?
I do. Yeah.
Because they sell them at Hobby Lobby.
Do they still?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I got them at Toys R Us.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I built a couple of those a couple of years ago, and I was very impressed with the engineering. I think actually all of them, even the higher grade ones, are snapped together, and yeah, it's pretty incredible how well engineered they are. I just find them very time consuming to build.
Yeah.
I got you some little ones one year.
Yeah, and I have a collection of the little like gashapon ones as well. Those are kind of fun because you also build them, but they're just really tiny.
Yeah. I introduced my boys to I went with G Gundam first because that one's much more of the, you know, just the punching and kicking stuff. That's much more high martial arts. I thought they would enjoy that more. But I did eventually I showed them Gundam Wing, which is in my humble opinion one of the most perfect animes. It's so good.
I have not watched much Gundam at all. I watched the movie version of like the original, and I was really not impressed with it. So that's all the farther it went.
You know, it's funny. That's always so funny about where like sometimes the concept carries it, where you've got like the concept of giant mechs fighting each other, which really I think, you know, Gundam was kind of one of the first, if not the first, of that kind of genre. And so you got the first ones where they're riding on the novelty alone, but the story's okay, and there's some awkwardness to it, but then later on someone really, you know, they hit the stride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did you do
because
this
I
one?
used to watch
Nope.
Okay.
I used to watch Gundam Wing because it was right before Dragon Ball Z on Toonami on Cartoon
Mhm.
Network.
Yeah, I
that's
remember
where got into it.
Gundam Wing. I never watched it, but I remember when all of the action they made action figures of all the Gundam Wing stuff. I remember that being kind of like the first like intro to that I remember seeing,
Yeah.
and it was around the same time that Dragon Ball Z was getting big.
Yep. Dragon Ball Z, and I've been. In fact, that's what I was doing before I came in here. So I was watching Dragon Ball Z with my boys.
Nice. We watched maybe the first 10 or 20 episodes of Dragon Ball Z a
Mhm.
while back, and I was really impressed with it. I need to just buy it.
Did you
Like
watch
some kind of collection of it and start watching through it.
the real
let's
DBZ
see.
or DBZ
Wanna
Kai,
go
the
then?
shortened version?
It was the real one.
Okay. I'd do Kai it the first time.
Okay.
There's a lot of filler that gets you zoom past on your. So if you're watching Dragon Ball Z for the first time, I would definitely go with Dragon Ball Z Kai, where you skip a lot of the filler, because one of the problems they ran into a lot was that they were following the manga, but the manga would fall behind, and so they didn't have any story to
Oh, no.
continue on. So they would just have Goku learn how to drive for some reason, or Goku goes to the store with his wife for some reason, and because they just didn't have enough story and they couldn't get ahead of the manga.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I kind of
Kai
find that.
skips over that part.
I kind
Can
of
you imagine if they did that with Game of Thrones?
I kind of find that stuff kind of charming, though. To be honest, I mean that's part of what I like about anime. I think it's just
Yeah.
the weird random stuff that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Kai gets, you get the kind of the story in a much quicker fashion. And so now we're kind of going back and watching the original now and seeing kind of the in-between scenes and the more drawn out battles. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We also went back and watched the original Dragon Ball series, I guess prequel, but it was actually the first series.
Sure.
I forgot how many dirty jokes were in it though, so I had to start. I started having to pre-watch it, so I knew which parts to fast forward.
Yeah.
Cratesbane says that Gundam.
Zero,
Did you
zero,
say
eight,
that?
0080
or
I think it's
0080?
Start date, isn't it?
War in the Pocket is a Christmas movie.
Or whatever their dating is called again. Yeah. Especially okay, so I'm really yeah. I think I have that one on the right or the left.
I mean this is just your classic RX-78 or whatever.
I think I have that one, yeah.
And then this is a Leo.
A Leo, yeah.
Which I thought looked really cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay, Cratesbane says it's 0080.
0080.
That makes sense.
Because why not?
I'm not a Gundam person, so I've never heard it said.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually know very little about the originals series. I watched a little bit of it and it didn't really grab me either. So yeah.
I really wanted to like it, but I didn't think the animation was very good. It just didn't look very good. I didn't like the way a lot of the characters looked. I didn't really like a lot of the ship designs or anything. It just wasn't very good.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Y'all got a new book coming out? Is that right?
It's already out.
I'm so out of the loop. I didn't even know y'all were doing it until you were like, it's here. What?
Fail.
Man, working a real job. It's been brutal for me. Keeping up with podcasts. I've just been, yeah. The only reason I'm able to do this now is because I'm on paternity leave.
Yeah, so we this time we didn't get a what do they call it, a print preview copy. Like last time we got this right with the not for resale, and we never ordered our other copies just because it takes 6 weeks and there was no way they were coming by Christmas. And so this time we were confident in David's system, and so we didn't even order those, and so we have nothing to gesture with when we talk about it. But yes, we did Periaps's Christmas too.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
Like
out
Boogaloo.
for anybody who is ready for Christmas.
Nice. You know, I'll say I'm a little bit disappointed that we never got Periaps's Easter. I don't know, but it's okay. I'll go for number 2.
Someday, maybe.
Nice. So, same authors or different authors, or a little bit the same, a little bit different?
Yep. Kaylina Radcliffe
Nice.
did a prequel to hers.
Should go somewhere.
Cool.
That should go somewhere.
Yep, here.
Oh, it
Pass
goes up
back to
here
me.
on the top.
Like this.
Yep. And William Jeffrey Rankin, who did The Fairy Tree.
That was great. Like, I feel like the word enchanting was made for that kind of story.
Yeah, that was a really nice addition to last year. This year he did a spooky one.
Oh, okay.
It might be extra.
I don't see it.
Yeah. All right, let's open the next bag. I will.
There's a note here.
Okay.
More teal pieces? ? We really did give Elrond the best chair. That's it. That's all it says. All right, never mind.
Two Periapses, 2 press.
Ultimate Kahuna, hey, hi. He says, finishing up a review. Do you mean you're working on a review right now? That's awesome. Anne says you should print off a cover picture and tape it to another book.
Just like put a tablet in the background with the cover on it, just like gesture toward the tablet.
More Periapsis, more press, double the action. 2 Periapsis, 2 press. Yeah, so last year I was trying to come up with something clever for the title and just ran out of time. It was like, and we just went with Periapsis Christmas. And then this year,
the same thing happened.
The same thing.
Last year I was like, we're just gonna call it Periapsis Christmas, and then this year I think you suggested a couple things. I'm like, we're just gonna call it Periapsis Christmas too. Sorry.
Well, now you know. Next year you got to crowdsource this. Put it out on the chill stream and be like, just let the ideas fly. No bad ideas. Just swing.
All right. Next bag.
48.
Now we've got to get out some minifigures for this. So we have to get out Aragorn, Gimli, and Boromir.
I think those are the guys that are in there. Oh no, here's Boromir.
Yeah, there's not. It's Aragorn, Gimli, and Boromir. Aragorn is in here. Gimli is not.
Gimli. Okay. Gimli is
did 49 too.
Oh, 49 too?
Yep. 48 and 49.
And
that's the last bag,
this
right?
is the last bag. There's
Oh.
another unnumbered bag that has a whole bunch of weapons in it.
We need that.
Right
Okay,
now.
It's a real
Yep.
honor to be here with you at the end of the world.
This is it.
Aw.
Great. Do you want to say a few words or just?
Gimli is probably the only one who I think,
It's a bit of a regression
yeah,
from the original.
more printing. I think he has a real belt, and we said the helmet was a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more three-dimensional.
You think maybe that was like the last one that they worked on? They're like, okay, we got to go to print. We got to go to print soon. We got to get this done. Like, you know how every single time you've got one part of the project that you're like, hey, we just needed to rush this because we needed to get it out there. Maybe that was it.
Yep.
So here's Aragorn. Nice Aragorn. And his let's see, here's this it. Yeah, I think so. I think this is it. Yeah, so this is his Strider sword.
Mm-hmm. Which wasn't in the books, but we forgave it because it was
Yep.
awesome.
And then Gimli's got
rule of cool stuff.
a little pair of axes here, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, Gimli is a downgrade. I hate to say it.
Well, you know.
And Boromir gets a wide sword.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh no. I have that problem all the time. My hair just falls off.
Okay. So, and then the rest of these weapons are going to go some other places, but this is a important one.
Yeah.
Here.
There it is. The blade that was broken.
Yep.
The other pieces are not here.
We actually get 2 of these. How cool is that?
Sacrilege.
Oh.
Well, this is a $500 Lego piece here, so you better get an extra one.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Anne has some more suggestions. She says, I can't wait for Periapsis Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Periapsis, Dances with Periapsis, Bride of Periapsis, Periapsis X, and my personal favorite, Periapsis Press Tokyo Trip.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good one. That's a good one. Excellent.
Oh, we've got to build 4 of these, so you can build a couple too.
Okay. I can't see it. So.
Oops.
Oh no. Oh, I see. Okay. It goes through this piece.
Yep.
Like this, even though it's an X piece.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make sure I'm doing this right.
It doesn't. It won't hold in there exactly. It has to go in the tree. All right.
I'm struggling, babe.
Yep.
There we go.
That's fine.
That's fine.
You know, if there was no pain, it wouldn't feel worth it.
It hurts because it's real.
Oh boy.
Oh.
All the things I wish I could forget.
I had no expectations for those movies, so I was just entertained.
Oh, I was so angry. I was so angry.
I was very, very angry.
So the second one, I had predictions of what they would do to reduce the cool factor, basically, and they did. And then the third one, just I was so angry. I was so mad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm okay. So I understand. I recognize that anytime a book goes to movie, you have to make some changes.
Right.
You know, I'm that guy who you don't want to watch The Lord of the Rings with, because I'll point out every single thing that's like, well, that's different in the book. That's different in the book. I made a joke about that on Twitter one day where I was like, me to my wife will watch it. That's different in the book. That's not the same in the book. In the book, it does this way. And then after a while, she says, do you want to watch something else? Why? It's my favorite movie. like I recognize there has to be changes. Some things just don't work as well on the screen as they do in print. I get it. I understand that. And I expect that. But like when you start changing things that fundamentally affect the lore, that's a little bit different. Like if you want to have a little bit of a fight with the watcher in the the watcher in the lake instead of just hitting it with a rock and running away. Okay, fine. All right, whatever. I get that. That's the rule of cool things. You got to do something there. You want to actually show the battle of 5 armies instead of having a rock knock out the main character and skip the whole thing? Sure, that makes sense.
Fine, whatever.
But an elf dwarf romance? Come on. Like it completely undermines what makes Legolas and Gimli special. And and Gimli and even Gimli and Galadriel, which isn't a romantic
right.
But still like
just some hardcore simping.
It's just I gotta agree about that.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
For me, the romance was irritating, but it was sort of like a side plot. The one that made me angry was how they wanted Thorin. They wanted so badly for him to be the main character that they just completely undermined Bilbo in every situation.
Yep.
And like, he is the reader surrogate. Why are you doing this? We are not Thorin.
Yep.
I'm getting loud.
They wanted an Aragorn. I mean, that's the problem. Is like you try. They're trying to instead of letting that letting that book be itself and letting its own things, its own formula rise to the surface. They tried to recreate the formula of the original trilogy. Like that's really what happened, and it didn't work because it's a different type of story. Like the story, like sorry, going back to comic books, I remember reading in Frank Miller's Batman Year One. It was talking about how he and the artist were talking, and they were going to go for extreme realism until they started thinking about the fact that, like, but if we get too real, it starts becoming unbelievable. Like some guy wearing a cape and a cloak. And like it suddenly becomes, when you get too real, it becomes harder to buy into the fact that this is fantastic. And I think there's a level of that in The Hobbit, that there is like the fantasticness of the children's story is what makes you buy into it instead of immediately checking out of all of the of all the ridiculousness of singing at a bunch of spiders, and that whole scene with the trolls, which is just utterly ridiculous. And too much realism can make it unbelievable.
Yeah. It was also really bizarre that Bard looked so much like Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, that was a big mistake.
That was so weird.
It would have been weird even if Orlando Bloom wasn't in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But he was.
But he
There's some chronology issues there. The fact that technically he wasn't alive then.
He was.
I'm pretty sure someone did the chronology, and Legolas is a very young elf, and I don't think he was alive for the.
I thought Legolas was like 2,000 years old at the time of.
Maybe I would have to double check that one, but.
I guess I don't remember it either way. This is...
Maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, anyway.
I guess according to the film guide, he was born along like almost 3,000 years before.
Okay.
So I guess there's maybe not an official number for his age in the books. But
Okay.
when they made the first film, they were assuming that he was
Older.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, well, whatever.
I have been wrong about things. It happens occasionally.
The actor is older than the actor for the Elf King.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, kind of unfortunate stuff that happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's hard when you have a story with no female characters who appear
Based.
to
Joke.
but it could have reached for somebody actually mentioned as opposed to I don't know. The best parts of those movies were all the scenes that were closely following scenes from the book.
Okay, let's put these on. You got to help me figure out some of this stuff because they want. They want this one to go in between these two, and I'm not exactly sure how it fits.
Oh, okay.
I think this up like this, and then this maybe sort of in here.
I think it's angled like this. Kind of like this one.
Oh, up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a little bit more sense, maybe. And then once I push it in.
Did that work?
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go. Once it's pushed in. And then I can't tell whether these are on like which
Can
of
I
these.
see?
This tree is very three-dimensional. It's kind of hard to read in the instructions.
Okay. Okay, 3 go on this one for sure. And it looks exactly like this. Up here.
Okay.
So for sure that one.
And
then 1 here.
Is it in the same arrangement as this where it's kind
Yeah.
of like 2 to the side and then 1 facing
This, yep, on this one.
on this one? Okay.
And then I have to look a little closer here. But I think that same, yeah.
Okay.
Same thing happening there.
So something like something like this. Yeah, that looks right. I would
think so,
say
yeah.
because that lets it sort of have that layered
Mm-hmm.
look.
Foliage. Just wanted to remind everyone that I was still here.
Now, and I think we have to put on all of the ones that are left, right?
Yeah.
So
So it's the same. This is same
Yeah.
right there, and this goes.
that
tilt it
cool.
like this.
Well, that works.
Come on, there we go.
We can always adjust this later.
Yeah.
If it looks goofy.
We can. Oh, that was wrong.
What did you do?
I put it on upside down.
Uh-oh.
It is. It's wrong. It's got to come off.
Now you've done it.
There we go. Okay.
Gonna look at some pictures of it. Yeah, it's fine.
Anne says Lee Pace was great, though. More of that guy in everything.
That was Thranduil, right?
I think so, yeah.
I loved when he came over the ridge on that moose.
This was probably the first time where I really
Lost it.
I didn't I didn't get the online women being fangirling over him, because I don't know, maybe because I'm coming out of a different era of the Hobbit stuff, but
Who, Thranduil?
yeah.
Well, he's gay in real life.
Okay.
So there's that.
It's true.
But that's not relevant to what I'm talking about at all, right?
Okay, I think this is as good as we're going to get this tree for now.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
These need to be up.
Just crushing her dreams in there. Just gotta say, I can change him. That's what you. That's what you do. I can change him.
Now I got to make sure I didn't slander him, but I'm pretty sure.
I've always wanted to watch that show, that Pushing
Oh,
Daisies
yeah.
show, but I've never seen. I don't have access to a way to watch it, and I never want to spend money on something that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like. I had a buddy talk it up once though, so.
Yeah, see, these need when these are up
Okay.
like that, then it looks really 3D.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, cool. Okay, all right. What's next?
Putting it on the thing and then putting the things together.
All right.
And then there's a little bit of a build. Oh, with the broken sword.
Should we do
No,
the build with a
thanks.
broken sword,
And
and then
then there's a
let's do
weapons rack.
let's do those little builds separately, and then
sounds good. All right.
I feel like watching you guys put together Lego. I finally get ASMR. I think I understand it now. A little bit more. Not the weird versions of it. Don't go there, internet. That's not what I'm saying.
it's all weird. Now you've done it.
It's okay. I can see both pieces. This is the same color as our floor. It was close, guys.
Oh, I'm getting tired. Whew.
Man, my sleep schedule is all shot the heck, so I don't know what is late anymore. I have not been able to get back on schedule since we had a baby at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
I've been
Ugh.
staying up till 2 ever since our son was born. And then I've tried to sort of get back away from doing that, but I had a couple of really busy weeks at work this week where I was up kind of late, just working on my actual job, which isn't usually something that happens. So it's fine when it's once a year kind of thing.
Sure.
And then I'm like sort of sick too, and I can't figure out what's going on. So like I'm surprised that I'm tired right now, because usually this is what I'm probably like the most alert. What's going on there?
I'm just building. Do you want?
No,
Sure,
go
here.
for it. You do the next. You do that page.
Nope, too late.
Okay. You made it through here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I like that. Ultimate Kahuna. Hit the like, you dirty despots. It's a great insult.
Michael Caine is back. Hi. I made it back before you finished.
It's very
He's
nice.
invested, he says.
We're still a little ways off from the end, because there's gonna, even once we get these builds done, there's gonna be some putting everything together.
Anne says, gotta see how it ends. And Michael Caine says, have to find out who will carry the ring.
It's still up in the air. So
Mhm.
who will do it?
The ring is safe here in Rivendell, Sam. We can go home now.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Elijah
I'm
Wood with
going
his
home.
giant eyes.
Yeah.
Gandalf. Gimli.
That is the last movie.
Yeah, I know. It's also in Rivendell, though.
Yes.
And that scene is in this. Because
The
you can
bed,
you
yeah.
can put Frodo in.
Oh, nice.
In his convalescing.
Yeah. So I just a few weeks ago discovered this really funny video clip. Which I guess was the Easter egg on the DVD of, I think, the Two Towers, where I think is it Dominic Monaghan? I always get him and Billy
Yeah, I
Boyd
think so, yeah.
confused up.
Yeah.
He does this prank interview with Elijah Wood where he pretends to be like this German.
Yeah, Elijah Wood is in.
Is it New York?
Yep, and he can hear him, but he can't see him.
Yeah, and he pretends he has like a German accent and pretends to be like a German reporter and asks him all of these really awkward questions that get stupider and stupider.
Like, it starts off just kind of awkward.
Yep.
And you could kind of chalk it up to like a language barrier, but that just keeps going.
Yeah, it gets more and more absurd. It's really, really funny. And then Elijah Wood just loses it. Like, he just starts laughing at the questions. Like, just
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, as a kid, I never had a lot of opportunities to search around on DVDs for Easter eggs like that. Like, that wasn't something that we did.
Look what we're building here. So we're building the
Yeah.
the little shrine.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of these gray statue people now. Maybe I'll steal her for my. I'm just kidding.
Can't steal her for your graveyard.
For my graveyard. I've got this one here. And I've got this one here. This one came with a really, really stupid hairpiece, so I swapped it out for a hood. It's not quite right the color. And I've got this one. But apparently I can't add a fancy elf lady with a half sword.
First world problems.
So Michael Caine said he has seen that video, and he says, "Have you guys seen the quip of Dominic talking about John Rice Davies ordering food when they all went to a restaurant?" I think I have.
I think I probably have. I don't know if I could tell you what was in it, but I think that sounds familiar.
Yes. Yep.
The interview was really funny just because it was so absurd. Like like he insinuates that Elijah Wood had a child with this other actress that he was dating. Like he insinuates that Elijah Wood had a child with Franca Potente, which is just like, and he's like the child's name was Philippa, but then he starts pronouncing Philippa like Flipper because Elijah Wood was in Flipper. And then he makes a joke about the dolphin from Flipper dying in a car accident. and then just an example of how our culture has changed. He makes a joke about Frodo and Sam being gay for each other, which Elijah Wood's reaction to is he just bursts out laughing. Like it's like and I find that really funny because that's like a common thing on Twitter now for people to like to say is like a serious thing. Yeah. And that's like part of this ridiculous.
It's so funny. And Elijah Wood just his gut reaction is to burst out laughing like he's never heard it before.
Yeah.
It's like the most ridiculous.
Once again, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, he's like the Dominic Monaghan or whatever his name is. He's like, there is how do I say it without being crude? A gay aspect to your relationship. And you just like, but this isn't like in the midst of like a line of questioning about like him wearing wigs, and then the flipper jokes and everything. It's do you kick balls? Like it's really funny. Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? Okay, so there's that little build.
Oh. Wonderful.
Oh, it's still sharp. And we've got to do the little writing desk now. No, you've done it.
I haven't done anything yet.
I like the musical track.
What?
I like the musical track.
Oh.
Adding some ambiance.
That is actually a habit that I I started doing that when I was working, and I would have to call people. And then while I was on the call, I would be on the computer looking stuff up. And so while the computer was doing things, instead of just letting there be dead air, I would like sing ditties like that so that they would know that I was still there and they wouldn't hang up on me, because they were extended warranty people. So
So they'd
Yep.
hang up when you're
they would
there.
hang up on me if they thought I wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that man. That's always the awkward thing. Like you're talking to someone and just like, and when I'm the one looking for reassurance, like when I was trying to call HR for my job, to go on paternity leave and trying to figure things out for that. And I'm just sitting there in silence in a parking lot because I couldn't keep driving while talking to them. Like, so you good still?
Mm.
we still going?
Are you still there? Have you put me on hold
Which
indefinitely?
I gotta tell you, I feel like this would be a good story. Figuring out. So I work for a large corporation on an assembly line. I'm not going to say the name of the corporation because I don't want to out that. Let's just say they may or may not be named after a river in South America. And
Rhymes with Blamazon.
I usually go with Shemamagon, but and I'm trying to like it's kind of a marvel working there because there's like so much.
Get that sticker on the first try.
Wow, good job.
You guys.
Nice work.
Just one more sticker left.
That's good. There's so much like
You got it.
technological whatevers is kind of amazing. But it also makes doing anything different just a nightmare. Anything that breaks the normal, they've got this. Everything is so assembly line-ish, which that's why you can get your package in 2 days. But
Right.
but then if you try to break the assembly line in any way, it just does not work.
You jerk. You made... Sorry, Josh. Dude's just giving me a hard time. He said I put it on upside down, which isn't possible.
Yeah.
But for a minute.
Okay. Here we go.
Right, keep going, Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh yeah, no, that was good. It's your show. The Glamazon. That's actually a real thing. For the friendly folk. But yeah, so like I'm trying to figure out how to go. I'm trying to go on paternity leave because my child's about to be born, but is not born. So I'm supposed to go on paternity leave for the Saturday, and I'm trying to I'd like to work a little bit longer because my baby is not born and is probably going to be late, and in fact was late. And so I'm on the phone with them, and I'm like, can I just postpone it till Monday, and then I can figure out. Then I can at least get, because I was going to get double overtime, which they pay stupid amounts for overtime. And I was like, that'd be really nice to have some extra money going into the Christmas season. So if I could work the full day Saturday, that'd be great. And I'm on the phone with them for like 2 hours trying to figure these things out and running around the circles. And, they were very helpful, very helpful. It was going great. Then we get to the end of it and they're like, all right, yeah, so that should go through. You'll see it on we've got an app that we use for everything. That should go on your app by in 48 hours. I said, okay, thank you. Then they hang up and they're like, wait, hold on. In 48 hours, it'll be Sunday. I'm sure they didn't mean that. I'm sure that they were like, so I go into work on Saturday. And I'm trying to log in,
Yeah.
and it would not let me log in. It would not let me punch in my key card. And so I go to stand in line at HR, and it was around that moment while I'm standing in the back of the line at HR, waiting until I get in and they can help me sign in and do my work, that I suddenly realized, you know what? I don't care.
Oh, we got to build another one of these.
I guess I'm on paternity leave now, so I just got out of line and left. Like I guess I'm just on paternity leave. So that's why I was on paternity leave for about a week before my child actually was born.
that
Ugh.
that period between like when you know that your child could be born very, very soon, but they're not yet, is like the absolute worst for negotiating with employers. So I feel like we had a problem too.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
The-
My
Okay.
I
my
think
work was very straightforward.
Okay.
it
how
depends.
that
I think it really depends on where the control of the schedule lies. The further up the line it
Can I see
lies,
it?
the harder it is to make it work.
I'll make the bill.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
If your boss is actually in charge of your scheduling,
Oh,
it can be pretty easy. Just call your boss the day that labor begins. And
Yeah.
there we go. We'll start it. Clock starts. You got it.
Yep, and that's how it was for me.
Okay.
It was just basically it was just set up kind of ahead of time where I sort of had an estimated date, but then it could I could just kind of go whenever. But the interesting thing that happened for me was that when our daughter was born, she was born at the end of a week of sort of like forced
Mandatory
vacation.
paid leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there
Okay.
was basically they put us on, they gave us like a week of mandatory paid leave for COVID. And they also made us use half of our vacation. They also had a rule that said we had to use half of our vacation before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So
and since you were going to be on paternity
yeah,
leave.
so what I ended up having to do, and it all worked out, so
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't a problem, but so our daughter was born the Sunday night at the end of that week of mandatory and I vacation, and I used up all of that lot of half of my vacation except for 2 days. So what I did is I used the last 2 days of vacation and then started my paternity leave, because the paternity leave would have taken me through the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Like the end of the first half of the year. So it was a little bit
coming
of
back to me
it was
now.
a little bit of finagling, but
Mhm.
it all worked out.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes
With
sense.
my new job, I don't get, so with my old job I got a really, this is a neat benefit I took 10 weeks off when both for each of my kids, because I got 6 weeks, 4 weeks fully paid and 6 weeks half pay leave. And so I did that. With my new job, I think I get 5 weeks paternity leave, but my new job has unlimited vacation days. So it kind of makes certain things a little bit of a non-issue when you're not like having to figure out what kind of day off to take or whatever. Like it also means there's no sick days, right? You just, if you're sick, you take a day off. It's great.
Yeah.
Right. Is that those two?
Yeah.
These racks can store all the extra weapons when not in use. They fit nicely inside the armory by the forge.
Excellent. I want a weapon holder for my life. Never know when you're going to find yourself under siege.
All right. Just a couple of
A box.
So we've got to do the mail. You want to do that?
Can do it. Michael Caine said, I love the Sean Bean Boromir, but the still sharp thing is probably the moment least like book Boromir.
Oh, where he just is like
touch.
Yeah, Boromir is a little bit more respectful of Aragorn in the book. right? They kind of cartoonified
Yeah.
that whole thing for the movie, if I remember right. Oh, and Sting also goes in the chest.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we've got an extra of the Strider sword, of Sting, and of the Narsil shard.
It's crooked.
Oh, now you've done it.
Blew it.
Oh, it's fine. It's not.
Throw it all in the garbage.
That's actually, honestly, it actually looks really good. I can't hardly see that it's crooked, so
Whew.
I think you did fine.
Just don't look too close at it.
Yep.
Kind of like a
Okay.
newborn baby. Just don't look too close at it.
Okay. Cool. All right. It looks like
it's all these little bits
so those weapons do actually
go somewhere.
have a place for them in the forge. And let's build these, and then we can put everything in the scene. So they have buildable alternate legs for some of the characters that have special leg pieces that would make them not sit very well, so they can sit in the council seats. So that's what we're building here. And do we probably want to set up the council,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I think we should build everybody into their seated version, and we can leave them like that.
Well, since that one's not standing up anyway.
Yeah.
Very sleepy.
You want to grab Frodo and Bilbo and you got them all? Okay.
I brought everybody.
Okay. So Frodo rip his legs off. This is what I was talking about before, the dual molded legs. That it's really nice because that light colored paint for the flesh tone doesn't really go too well on dark plastic. It wouldn't really look the right shade.
Oh, I'm already doing it wrong, guys.
Now you've done it.
Good grief. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense. Come on.
What have you done?
Well, Bilbo's got a new hairdo. It's windswept.
/ gender studies.
Check it out. Frodo's doing the splits. I don't think I've ever seen this in set before, but it's neat to see how nice the lantern piece makes legs for a short-legged figure.
Yes,
it works really well.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Oh, there's their extra legs. Who else needs legs?
Gandalf. Man, we're so close to done, guys.
Home stretch.
Sad. A little bit sad.
I'm riveted right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be neat.
Less riveting.
It's gonna be neat to get the whole thing out and put everything in where it goes and look at the whole thing. And Elrond.
I'm actually less impressed with the build for Gandalf, but It will look fine when he's seated, right? It's
Uh-huh.
it's a little square. These guys, they look all right. But, yeah, that'll be fine. Kind of cool that they have printed pieces. Like that.
Yeah, that's not
Huh.
super. These kind of curved pieces being printed. All right.
Okay.
So should we? I think this is the last page, right? So
That's it.
So should we? Okay. Yeah. So let's page back and
Put
work
stuff
on
in.
putting all this stuff together.
Oh.
Did you put this on? Nope.
Ah.
Right-
Okay.
Right here.
So he looks a little bit better than
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's you forgot his butt.
His butt, yeah. But move all of this over. Big piece.
Don't drop it.
That'll end
Michael
drama
Caine
real
says we
quick.
come to it at last.
Okay. Here we go.
Magical. Very
This tree
nice.
is like really wobbly.
Yeah, like I said, I've missed the last few, quite a few chill streams. So this looks good.
It really came together the last couple
Yeah.
where all of a sudden we're building like these roofs and cool little builds and all of this stuff where you have all these little nooks and crannies and areas coming together. Okay, so you want to flip over to where the council pops in there, babe?
What? Oh.
And this neat detail of the eye of Sauron there.
Huh.
And let's see if this does it just set. How
Yep,
does it-
I had it in there earlier without the tree. But, so the tree goes right here.
Oh,
In
sure
front of
enough.
those ferns.
Oh yeah. So it just
sets.
Nice. Yep. Oh yeah, that pops right in there. Awesome.
Just like it just
That looks so good.
very nice.
Okay.
Looks official.
Mm-hmm.
Stories are gonna be told.
And it's hard to see in the video how big this thing is. It's huge. Like it is a giant, massive thing, right?
Wow. Wow.
And this is only part of it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
So do they want us to connect things together? The next step kind of looked like it was showing connecting things together. But,
Yep,
but
so
let's just
turn it around.
place things.
Yeah.
All right. So that goes there.
Jeez.
And I don't know, did I pose that about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This and the stool go in this nook here.
Oh, like up against, is it attached to
Yep.
the wall like that?
Uh-huh.
And then the stool sets something like this.
Yep. It's got it.
Oh, on this corner,
Yep.
something like that.
Neat and tidy, you know.
They put it at an angle where it's more realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the forge. The stuff that goes in the forge.
Yeah.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it. So this actually sets just like the council does.
So you can see inside the forge really well.
Mhm. Where are the weapon racks? Oh, you
Over here.
You know, I made a comment on this is in reference to the chat. I made a comment on someone else's video a while back, and I think it's true that the Tolkien or the Inklings would have had a dope podcast.
Yes.
That would have been quite the podcast right there.
Yeah, it's quite handy. And the way this fits together, these pieces that are built in just fit
Yeah, they have him
right.
slotting in. I kind of didn't see that with this one at first, but there's really only one way for it to fit.
Yep. It's very satisfying.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, now it's just the
Okay.
the chest.
The chest goes, of course, in the other one. We're getting crowded. This is the one I always.
That's good.
No, I don't drop it. Don't
It's
jinx it.
aesthetically pleasing, though. You see the whole thing.
Okay, this it wants
Ooh.
here. There-ish.
Mm-hmm. And
then a sword on the anvil.
here, the swords are over here, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
The Strider sword on the
yeah.
anvil, or the yep.
Yep. And this guy on the table inside.
Oh, like right there,
Yeah.
like this.
Yep. Do you want me to take this?
Nope,
guy?
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Shall we put
Yep.
the?
Put the pieces together.
Yeah. Should we put them here and point the camera that way?
No, let's just
Okay.
keep doing it here for now. I think the lighting's better here.
Okay. All of these guys out of the way. Okay, this guy goes that way.
Yep.
This guy goes this way.
Ooh.
Then we can move it back to the
Yeah.
back shelf later. And I think this is the first time that we've actually put everything together. We've kind of held off on snapping it together before now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here goes that piece. Oh, that's cool. So a neat thing maybe I have oh yeah, I haven't put it actually clipped together yet because it clips together at the top. One neat thing here is that there's a nice doorway inside that lines up. So there's like this window section here that fits into a window section there, and an interior door. And this painting ends up being
On the inside.
on the
of
inside.
that room.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how this is simultaneously a satisfying conclusion to your Lego build and also a nice little behind the scenes look at your podcast setup. This little how it was made.
Just trying to see if I'm missing some clips or something. I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
There we go.
That's nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I think
if you're not looking too close, it looks singular, like one piece.
Yeah, I'm trying to. The bottom isn't quite.
The bottom isn't quite.
Oh.
Oh, was that it? Did it snap?
It connects at the top. The bottom doesn't quite fit, but I'm wondering if that isn't just the table not being quite level. Because it's. Yeah, that's
so big.
That's weird. It kind of doesn't want to.
Oh, it's like it. Yeah, I bet it's the table.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
what have you done?
it'll fit better on the
Yeah,
on the shelf. Yeah, it just
it's
there's
sliding
there's
apart.
there's a little bit of a bow to the table.
Sure.
Yeah, that top that looks really nice.
Yeah, it wants to come up part down here a little bit, but it's all connected.
Top
here.
looks good. That's what I was looking at.
Okay, put this together.
Yep. And this is kind of cool because it sort of attaches at an angle, so you get a little bit of I'm knocking over foliage
Foliage.
left and right. I don't know if I'm putting it back in the right spot.
Panorama.
Is it? Who can say if we've really finished building it? If I've moved the
Move the fern.
yeah. Oh, here, actually, that would go right there, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So there it is. So there's the build. So you have this nice
Wow.
angle to the bridge and this little waterfall here.
Wow.
All right. So I think now we just have to put on the minifigures.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Okay. See if they have a recommended
Seating arrangement.
seating arrangement. Looks like they have, of course, Elrond
Yep. So Elrond's going to go
in his fancy chair.
Can you bring that back so I can
Blue
sorry.
chair.
have a real time view into what we're doing here? I'm going to switch to Elrond's happy face.
Okay.
That's true. That's
I
good.
like the happy
Saw it
face.
so rarely.
That's another cool thing. I don't know if you
Just
saw this, Josh, but the minifigures usually nowadays have two faces.
Okay.
So you can
choose if you want them to be happy.
Yeah.
Bilbo actually has his alternate face as his scary face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so there's Elrond.
You get the idea.
Yep.
Okay, how do they have
Next is Gandalf.
right there?
Yep. And then there's an empty chair, and then Glowin.
For the
And
fallen
then
homies.
chair. And then it looks like Legolas, but that's not Legolas. Where's Legolas?
What have you done?
I didn't do anything.
Oh no.
Now you've done it.
I didn't do
He was so busy in the other movie he forgot to come to this one.
it.
You've really screwed it up now. Yeah, this is not Legolas.
Who will give him their bow?
Gimli would go by Glowin, obviously.
On which side?
Mm. And then Aragorn and Boromir have to go on there somewhere.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
And then there's only room for one other person, which would have to be Frodo, even though Bilbo is supposed to be there too. They don't have a full picture of everybody.
That's okay. I want to just do whatever's in the manual, but we got to find Legolas.
Yes. Yep, I'll have to. I'm assuming he's be around here somewhere. So help me if a small child has walked off with him. He's not on the floor here.
Is that him on the shelf there?
Where?
Just some there's some figures lying down there.
No, this is my archer. You guys.
I mean, did we not have him out like at one of the last live streams talking about Lego Legolas?
Yeah, we did. You're right.
Lego Legolas.
Did he get put in some other part of the build, maybe? I don't see him. They do not want to sit in these chairs worth a darn. I'm sorry to say.
I bet you we left him on the table. Oh.
He's almost certainly in this room.
Oh yeah. I'm sure.
And I don't think he would have gotten put away with my old Lord of the Rings figures,
No.
but we could check. We could check there too.
Yeah. You.
Foiled again by a small child.
Tune in
I
next time
understand.
when we actually finish the build.
We'll have this elf be simping for Arwen right here.
Yeah.
Bilbo can sit here.
Writing his poetry.
Yep. And this is another elf rando that can be simping for Arwen.
Elf randos.
One of them is supposed to stand next to Elrond, according to the picture. Is there a spot next to Elrond that, like a stud?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so mad.
I tell you, those kids are in for a beating.
Anne says, roll back the tape. We'll find him somewhere.
Roll back the- Oh, here, he's right there.
Oh, he's on the build, you guys.
Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Beating averted.
It was mom all along.
You've let us down again. Yeah, he's right here by the limb.
Children saved.
He's
Yeah.
by the Lumbus bread.
One of them was getting written out of the will this weekend, so
Yeah.
we're glad that that didn't happen.
Poor little Mary.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, so they do actually all fit. We just need Frodo. Right. They
And the ring is supposed to go on the table.
Yeah.
Not in
I
his
know
hand.
I know that.
Well,
Duh.
okay.
Yeah, so they do all fit.
Nice.
So I put Bilbo there. I don't know where the instructions have him.
They have him
Like
Actually-
down here or something.
they have him in
In here.
here, I'll show you.
Is this the elf that they wanted standing next to Elrond?
Yeah, actually they have the blonde, but they
Different
have
scent.
Bilbo sitting here.
On a stud or just
Sitting,
sitting?
just sitting.
Okay.
Unstudded.
This guy can be over here. And where should the rest of the hobbits be? So he's got his Limbus bread here. Maybe
He could be over here by the rest of the Lumbus bread.
one of them, they could be like
What are you doing?
That's it. That's the one.
yeah,
That's the spot.
they're
Right
well
there.
they're spying on everybody, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be
What are you doing?
They've got to be.
It was a dangerous place to hide. What can you say?
They have to be lurking, right?
Yeah, just put them here.
I feel like on the side of the spire was the most.
Yeah. I
Logical.
want to have one of them like up in a tree or something. Oh, that's Sam, right?
Yep,
Sam wouldn't be up in a tree.
No, Sam would not.
Sam
be
would be over by the lemon spread.
Most certainly not.
You could put somebody back there.
Yeah, I want back in the shadows, kind of staring.
Doug Wise says Hobbit parkour.
I like Kahuna's Glandryer, the Arwen simp.
Yeah. Yeah, like this. This is what I was picturing, babe.
Very
Like kind
nice.
of like he's looking with one eye. See if I can get that.
See, Sam should be there.
Like, see, he's looking with one eye. You want Sam back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be over by the Lumbus spread too.
I feel like Merry and Pippin could be like, that's Mary.
Oh, Sam's got the
The
pan.
frying pan. Iconic.
He's got the carrot because he fell on it
Yep.
and broke it with his
And
butt.
broke it.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's not a metaphor.
Merry and Pippin would be over here snacking, sort of listening in. That would be
There.
drone footage effect. All right, you guys, that is it. That's the whole 3 books.
Look at the size of those instruction manuals.
It's great. And now you can film like 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Glowin is sliding in his seat. Maybe he had a few too many.
Yeah. The ring is safe here in Rivendell, Sam. I'm going home now.
That's next episode of the chill stream. They're gonna print out the script, and you're gonna just work through the whole Rivendell, sequences. You'll be great.
I'm so tired, Frodo. I wish I could just shrivel up and die. Me too.
Man,
Oh man.
the dialogue's just not popping the same. I don't know what's going on.
Michael Caine says, so who takes the ring to Mordor? Don't leave us hanging. Should we make them all fight?
Yeah.
Argue.
Spoiler alert! I didn't even know it was going to Mordor.
It's time for stop motion Lego Rivendell movie. and the Bilbo cat noise.
Oh.
I love how everyone's brought their swords to the meeting here.
Never know when you need it.
Yeah. They're not just like,
Stay strapped.
they're like in their hands, ready for battle.
They do not want to sit in these chairs. The chairs are very, very touchy.
Well, it's been a long meeting.
Oh, this was so much fun.
Yeah, this was a very good set. I will say, I still think that the Pirates of Barracuda Bay is my favorite, but this is a very, very, very good set. And anybody who likes Lego, appreciates Lord of the Rings would enjoy building the set.
Mhm.
And I will say the same thing that I always say for big Lego sets. I'm always surprised by the number of big pieces
Mhm.
and the amount of just big stuff that you build in these large Lego sets. You just like I like small Lego sets a lot, but there's just a lot of experiences that you don't get with those that you get in these big ones, where you're just building these giant base plates and you're stacking huge bricks and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So, you know, you might look at the set and see all of these little tiny roof tiles, but
But-
there's a lot of big
Yeah.
building.
There's all of this building here, right?
Hmm.
That's taking place.
And this is not hollow. There's all kinds
Right.
of interesting stuff in there. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's interior here. There's large interior areas in the middle.
And
this-
this build,
This tower is really interesting
it's pretty dense.
on the inside.
There isn't really space inside this.
Yeah, but it's interesting how you get all those different angles. You know,
Right.
all of these little tower builds are interesting. The trees I thought were actually pretty interesting, and they
Yeah.
look better in person than I was picturing them looking. I think they look really good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, just very, very good. A lot of interesting part usage and weird building techniques and some of this stuff. I think the chairs are maybe kind of a low point here. The characters don't want to sit nicely in them, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This is not something that you would move around a lot.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Anne says, "Stay strapped or get clapped."
That's right. That's right.
Oh man.
the chair arms are made from sausages. It's kind of funny.
And the backs are popsicles.
Yeah, the backs are popsicles.
Oh, nice.
It's very
It's delicious.
I normally would call this nice part usage, but it's really not very nice part usage.
it's just part usage.
Yeah, it's just part usage.
Well, you never want to see how the sausage
Oh, no.
is made.
Oh no.
Oh, this was fun. I had a lot of fun. Who I says, well, no wonder everyone was so uncomfortable with the puzzle. And then Ultimate Kuna says they should have put the ring in the fridge.
Where is it?
I saw a meme just the other day where it's a picture of like one shelf of the fridge door and there's two things on it and one is ketchup and it's the guys be like, where's the ketchup?
Yeah.
And then the next is like a Call of Duty or like
Yeah,
one
I
of
saw
those
it.
like screen caps. So it's like there's a sniper such and such number of yards over there behind
It's
a
like,
tree.
yeah, dudes, where's the ketchup? I can't find it. But also,
Yeah.
dudes, there's a sniper at 400 yards.
Yes, exactly.
Lovely.
Yes. That's a satisfying.
This-
that's crooked. That's
what?
gonna bother me.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I can't do
Yeah.
it with a fingernail.
Oh, yeah. A thing that I didn't even notice. That would
There
have
you go.
bothered me too.
This little build is kind of a highlight for me. This is
Yeah.
a really nice little building, and the way this piece
Yeah.
fits in and makes the steps
Mhm.
for the different parts. There's all this sideways building that makes interesting steps that fit in. I always like interesting little steps that go different places, and there's a lot of that in it as well.
Fine.
I'll
Can't swim for her if she's in the river.
I'll save you.
This is
Why
what
you
we're here for.
putting him there?
I said he's simping for Arwen.
I moved him because he's the forge elf.
Here, so Arwen can be fainting
Be fainting.
here, and then
They're the dropsy.
then he can be kind of like watching.
Watching.
Or let's see, maybe like over here. Or he's like here, he's here. So he's looking through the bushes.
Through the bushes.
Yeah, he's it's hard for him to balance there, but
Well, you know.
you got to put in that. Sometimes it takes some effort.
Put in the work to
Yeah.
stalk someone.
He's got all the time in the world. He's
See,
an elf.
everybody talks about how annoying stalkers are, but no one appreciates the work they put in.
Yeah.
Doug Wise says, "How long have you been there?" And Ultima Kahuna says, "Such a strong female."
Yeah, it is drunk. I've admired you ever since I was a little boy. You were the same age as you are now.
Puppy love. I'm only 100 years old. It's puppy love.
Yeah, I can't get him to balance. That's okay. He'll just hang out down here.
Oh, I have an idea.
Okay. Oh no.
Get him.
Oh
to,
there. Oh yeah, there
there's
we
a
go.
stud here.
Oh nice. Look at that.
If I can bend him. There.
Violating all author intentionality here.
There's a good camera angle here.
Watch out.
I don't know. It's hard to get it in there.
Ultimate Kahuna says, "Robbing the cradle more like robbing the future." Oh man. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. I remember when I first watched The Fellowship, the whole series. I was too young, I think, to be, because I was in like middle school, and so I missed the whole "oh, Legolas is so hot" fad. My cousin she was public school, so she
Degenerate.
when we went to visit my grandma, she was like, "Oh, he's so hot," and I was like, "What?" But so like I have a distinct memory of watching them later and suddenly realizing that Arwen's top was like sheer, like had like this sheer fabric. Like it's not like she's naked underneath it, right? But like it's like flesh colored underneath under skirt, and then like this sheer fabric, so that when she stands, and I was like, "What the heck?"
Innocence gone.
Yo. Ultimate Kahuna says, "Oh, was it?"
we had no idea.
Sips coffee, avoids eye contact.
None of
He
us
does.
noticed. We were just, it's the plot. We were just here for the plot. That's all. It's it's like, like the wife asking you, isn't she so pretty? Oh, I hadn't noticed. We're just, nope. This feels like a trap. We're
it was just kind of a funny thing where I can mark that developmental space in my life by the Lord of the Rings movies. This was great. Let's do this again.
Yeah. What should we build next?
Comment below.
Yeah. I mean, some possibilities I think that we're thinking about would be the Imperial Trading Post pirate set. The Viking Village would be a good short one. That wouldn't take so long. I think we each have a couple. We each have like one small set that we own that we could just probably build.
Yeah.
In one evening.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be good to get those out of the way at some point.
Yeah. And we like building in general, so if you guys want to see something in particular, let us know.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to buy like the Avengers Tower or giant comic stuff. Although that new Bat Cave looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They did a 1989 Batman Bat Cave shadow box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is going on here? That's at an angle. Okay. Yeah. But this was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to just enjoying this. So it's probably going to sit right behind us, so you'll see it in.
It'll be there for a little while.
It is very large.
It's lost.
It is very large, so it's not too many places that we could put it other than behind me here.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Kane says the Viking Village looks nice.
Yeah,
that's definitely one of the ones that we have our eye on.
Mm-hmm. And it's that the cool thing about that set, I think, is it's kind of the opposite of these big sets.
Mm-hmm.
It is a lot of small detailed stuff rather than big detailed stuff.
Yeah.
So very small, there's a bunch of buildings and they're each way smaller even than, like this little sub build. So it would be interesting to compare and contrast that.
Yeah.
The Imperial Trading Post is a pretty big chunk.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of more like this, where it's like one big solid piece with you kind of build up the base, and there's stuff inside the base, and there's structures on top and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Viking Village is more a bunch of little structures, which I think is kind of cool, and something a little different than what we have, because a lot of your buildings are actually on the bigger side, even the smaller sets.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they are tall. It's hard to find places for them. All right. Well, should we call it a night?
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Josh, for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Great to be here.
It was nice to have you share this moment with us.
Yeah. This proud moment.
Honored.
All right.
Well,
we have our book out right now.
Yep.
Perhaps Christmas 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't gotten the first one, you can get that one too.
Yeah. Now's a great time to get the first one too. Good Christmas stories.
Yep.
Good time of year. makes a good. Both of them make nice stocking stuffers, nice gifts.
Yep.
Um,
And Josh has actually reviewed the first one back in July.
mhm.
So
Yeah. I might do this one in January, like I planned.
all right, you guys have a great night.